Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Thursday. We got 7 matchups on this NBA slate today. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. And you already know, if you guys like betting on NBA player props, go ahead and check out the main sponsor of the channel, ParlayPlay. Get 5 free entries just for signing up. Get in on the action. Hopefully you can get some wins before we head into this weekend here. And yeah, we'll hop in it. 7 matchups, pretty decent size slate today, starting with the Chicago Bulls versus the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks opening up as 3.5-point home favorites with the over-under at 231.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Bulls 6-4, 6-4 covering the spread. The over, it's hitting 2 out of the last 3 matchups. No major injuries for the Bulls that haven't already been out. Lonzo Ball's already been out. Chicago 6-4 in their last 10. Atlanta 4-6 in their last 10. Atlanta did lose their last meeting to the Bulls like 3 games ago by 4 points in that matchup. Chicago 6-3 covering the spread right now. 11-5 covering against Atlanta. Atlanta 1-5 covering the spread in March. Interesting stat dating back to last year. I like the Bulls. Given the Bulls plus points on the road, I mean, Atlanta's not really doing anything crazy. I know the Bulls coming into this, I believe on a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, on a 2-game losing streak here. I mean, yeah, give me the Bulls plus 3.5 on the road. I really think they should be favorites, to be honest. Unless there's any crazy injuries that I am not seeing. There's no main injuries. So, yeah, give me the Bulls plus 3.5 on the road here against this Hawks team. That's going to make a run make their playoff push, that's for sure. But, coming off a bad loss against Boston here, give me the Bulls plus 3.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Detroit Pistons versus the Toronto Raptors. Toronto opening up as home favorites at -8.5. Detroit plus 8.5 with the over-under at 215.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Detroit 7-3. 7-3 covering the spread. The over's hit in 2 out of the last 3 matchups. It's crazy. Detroit's been really good against Toronto. Detroit, though, just 3-7 in their last 10. Toronto 6-4 in their last 10. Toronto coming off back-to-back wins over the Nets. They've looked pretty good here. I know Toronto, they were missing Fred VanVleet in the last matchup. Him and OG Anunoby are questionable, so be sure to check this line. To be honest, I like them against Detroit even without Fred VanVleet and OG, but if they both play, I just think that's going to be an even bigger addition, obviously. But Toronto 5-1 at home, playing good basketball at home here. Detroit, crazy. They're on a 5-game winning streak against Toronto. 5-0 covering the spread against Toronto. Kind of crazy to me. I'm not going with that, though. We're taking the Raptors at home. Not in love with the 8.5. The fact that Detroit's been able to cover, I think they can cover the 8.5. I think it might be a little closer than we think, but hard to trust Detroit on the road here. Maybe 8.5. I'm fine with that, but throw the Raptors money line in your parlays. Maybe do a teaser, get that down a bit, but we're taking the Raptors at home. Next matchup, we have the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Boston Celtics. Memphis opening up as 3.5-point road favorites with the over-under at 225.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Boston 9-1, 7-3 covering the spread. The over's hitting 7 out of the last 10 matchups. No Jaylen Brown for this matchup for the Celtics. That's definitely a big loss. Memphis 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, John Morant coming off a 52-point game. It's crazy. Boston also 8-2 in their last 10. 2 teams playing really good. Memphis, though, they've really struggled against Boston. 0-7 on the road against Boston. 1-10 against Boston. They've really struggled against the Celtics. Celtics 6-1 at home right now, playing good home basketball. If Jaylen Brown was playing, I would like the Celtics plus 3.5 here. I really would. But without him, that's going to be a big loss on offense. They're going to have to keep up with this Memphis team. That's just Jaylen Brown or John Morant's just on another level. They're playing just spectacular basketball here. And I'm taking Memphis on the road. And you should know by now, money lines, I take money lines before I take any kind of spread. So rolling with the Grizzlies on the road. And then for the spread, be careful with any spread. Teams don't cover spreads anymore, the rare occasion. But I like Memphis on the road here. And, do what you want with this matchup. I think Memphis beats this bad streak of them not being able to beat Boston and not being able to beat them on the road. I think that changes in this matchup. We're taking the Grizzlies on the road. Next matchup, we have the Miami Heat versus the Brooklyn Nets. The Heat opening up as 3.5-point road favorites with the over-under at 221.5. The last three head-to-head, Miami 3-0, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 1 out of the last 3 matchups. Big news for Brooklyn. KD is coming back for the Nets. That's a huge positive. Who knows if he'll be on a minute restriction? Really have zero idea. I would like to believe he's on a minute restriction, but you never know. He could probably play the full game. Miami coming off a back-to-back, game where they did miss Lowry in the last matchup. Hopefully Lowry plays here. I really have no idea. Can't find anything on that. We'll probably know later on in the day. Miami 9-1 in their last 10. Brooklyn just 3-7 in their last 10. Miami did beat them by 4 in their last meeting. I know KD's coming back. That's going to be a huge addition to the Nets, but Miami's playing great basketball. I'm really hoping they do get Lowry back, but even without Kyle Lowry here, I just like the Heat. Bam's been playing great. Jimmy Butler's been playing good basketball, and who knows? KD might be rusty in his first game back, and still, no Kyrie. If they'd have had Kyrie, I'd be taking the Nets here, but I'm taking the Heat, just playing good team basketball, and till the Nets can really do something. Hard to trust the Nets. Is a good sign for that KD's returning, but I don't like him on his first game back, especially them 1-4 in their last 5. Give me the Heat minus 3.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we have the Golden State Warriors versus the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs, I'm seeing different reports on different sites. I'm seeing Mavs as 2.5-point favorites at home, but I'm also seeing Mavs 2.5-point underdogs at home. So I really don't know what to expect. We'll see what the official line is, but multiple sites are seeing different things, which usually never happens. But the over-under sitting at 219. The Mavs 8-2, 7-3 covering the spread. The over's hitting 6 out of the last 10 matchups. Klay Thompson does look like he's back after missing that last game. Golden State, they've been struggling. 1-4 in their last 5. They already played Dallas 2 games ago where Dallas was down by 20, going into the 4th, and Dallas ended up winning by 6. That was just crazy. I mean, their defense has been very bad. Minnesota putting 129 on them. Dallas playing great basketball. 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, they're playing phenomenal. Beating up on the Lakers. Mavs 5-0 covering the spread right now. Loving Dallas. Whatever the real spread is, minus 2.5. I'm taking the money line at home. But if the Mavs are, from what I'm seeing, if they're plus 2.5, plus 3, give me plus 3 all day for the Mavs. If not, taking the money line at home. They've been excellent. We know the Warriors are a good team, but they're just on a bad stretch here. Their defense is horrible right now. And look, Luka's taking over. Give me the Mavs at home. Next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings versus the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs opening up as 7-point home favorites with the over-under at 238. The last 3 head-to-head, the Spurs 2-1, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 2 out of the last 3 matchups. Sacramento just 4-6 in their last 10. The Spurs 5-5 in their last 10. Yeah, really not in love with this matchup here. No major injuries that I do see. Spurs coming into this couple game losing streak. They haven't looked that good. Sacramento coming off a nice win over the Thunder, but I mean, still 1-4 in their last 5. They haven't looked that great either. +7 with the Kings. I mean, that seems intriguing. These teams are pretty evenly matched. Not in love with this one here. Give me this Kings +7 on the road. Then the last matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Lakers opening up as 1.5 point road favorites. Don't know why, but they are the favorite. With the over-under at 219.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Clippers are 8-2. 8-2 covering the spread. They've been pretty dominant. The Lakers, the Lakers have been awful. On a 3-game losing streak. They're 1-6 in their last 7. Lost to the Clippers 3 games ago by 3 points. Clippers, surprisingly enough, the Clippers are actually playing pretty decent here. Clippers on a 4-game winning streak, 6-1 in their last 7. Already beat the Lakers. They've played Houston 3 times in those 6 wins, so call it how you want. But the Lakers, 0-6 on the road. 0-6 against the Clippers. Geez, man, they really can't beat the Clippers. And the Clippers are missing their star players, too. Clippers, 6-1 covering the spread. Yeah, give me Clippers +1.5 at home. And I know they both share the same home, but give me Clippers plus the points here. The Lakers, how can you trust them? They blow games, they blow leads. In the clutch, in that Mavs game, the last 2 minutes, they couldn't even get a bucket with 2 minutes left when they needed one. Hard to trust the Lakers. Definitely staying away from this matchup. There's no value in this. Lakers could easily win, but how can you trust the Lakers at all? Give me Clippers +1.5 at home. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Thursday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Friday. Have a good one.